decades, Israel fought its wars while the US provided weapons, intelligence, and diplomatic backing. But formally, those wars were Israel's. The distinction mattered, even during the Gulf War in the early 1990s, when Saddam Hussein fired Scud missiles at Israel. Washington refused to allow Israel to enter the coalition. Why? Because American leaders wanted Arab states to remain part of the alliance. Israel and the US, of course, coordinated very closely behind the scenes, but the war remained America's war, not a joint one. Today, that line has disappeared. For the first time, Washington and Tel Aviv are fighting the same war openly, side by side. The consequences are already rippling across the Gulf. For decades, the Gulf monarchies built their security strategy around a simple bargain: oil and money in exchange for security. For 60 years, this was the stable equation. Gulf states invested enormous wealth in the American economy. They hosted American bases, and in return, Washington guaranteed stability. But Trump has shattered that equation. He wants the money, he wants the oil, but he's no longer providing the security. In fact, he's now threatening the security of the very states that finance the alliance. During Trump's 2025 Gulf tour, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar pledged gigantic investment commitments worth around $3 trillion over time. Gulf money flowed into American projects, some of it even into ventures linked directly to Trump and his family. Entities tied to the UAE's national security leadership reportedly purchased a 49% stake in the Trump-linked cryptocurrency venture World Liberty Financial in a deal worth around $500 million. Meanwhile, Jared Kushner's investment firm, Affinity Partners, manages billions from Gulf sovereign wealth funds, including a $2 billion commitment from Saudi Arabia. These are not random transactions, they're calculated strategic decisions. One may agree with them or disagree with them, but they form part of a deal, even if it's an unequal one. And Trump has now broken the terms of that deal, because when war arrived at the Gulf's doorstep, the region was not even consulted. Trump has carried out what many in the region see as a double betrayal. First, he launched his war behind the backs of the Gulf states. Without consultation, without warning, he dragged their region into a war they did not want. Then he went further still. He began pressing them to become fodder for the war itself.